Okie dokie. So let's see what went wrong for us. So we know what we did. Let's go and have a look at my opponent. So we saw the scout, that was fine. You know, so far. Ooh, now I didn't see this to start with, but you can see so far this wasn't going too bad, but you can already see how far ahead I am because my opponent didn't early expand. So I think in Legacy of the Void, and this is something I've never done in any of the games, I've never just thrown down an expansion before anything else, and it seems as though all of the players who've beaten me so far, admittedly they've all played Zerg, but they've all been throwing down pretty much an immediate expansion. No, we do have a hatchery up for our Zerg friend here. You can see that I've got my first barracks moving to the second, so you can argue that from this point on my opponent has an economic advantage. 2 minutes into the game, they're already harvesting from more sites than I am. I did see this and get mine going, but you can see that my opponent's base is already going before mine, so maybe just try expanding immediately. If it's a medium or large map, it seems to work quite well. Okay, we've then gone into a couple of Evo chambers, and we can see double upgrades for the Zerglings. Upgraded armour of all grades, ground units, and upgraded melee attacks. So immediately, if I'd re-scouted and I'd only scouted my opponent once, I would have seen that we've got double gas. If you see your opponent going a lot of gas early, it's a general indication of looking for upgrades. And then we can see that that's backed up with a double Evo chamber. Now remember that my double engineering bay, my equivalent upgrades, did not go down until a bunch later. So you can see at this stage, I should have spent more. I wasn't spending my money fast enough and in the right things. So that's what's known in StarCraft as a macro issue. I wasn't just building stuff quick enough and the right stuff. And you can also see that I've neglected to scout. I would have seen that my opponent was going for this very aggressive play. And if we take a look here, we can also see Zergling's metabolic boost, so armour, attack, and power. That if I'd seen those gas and I'd seen those double Evo chambers, that to me would have screamed out my opponent's going to be moving fast with lots of ground units and Zerglings and Banelings. That's the kind of indicator. So when you scout, looking for things like gas can give you a bit of an idea as to what your opponent's going to be up to. If I'd seen that, and I didn't, so mistake number 2, I should have scouted more often, kept more of an eye on my opponent. As we charge forward a bit faster, we can see opponent being pretty good at spreading creep if you're going upgraded ground units. Well, upgraded melee and upgraded ground units, then of course you want lots of creep. That makes your Zerg units even better. Down goes a third hatchery. I notice that this hatchery is just, it's a macro hatchery. I think it's not even next to a base. Now if you're a Zerg and you throw down a hatchery like that, you're either tripping or you're deciding that you want just more lava, and you want more lava so you can just really increase your ground army. So if I'd been scouting my opponent this time and managed to see that hatchery, I would have thought, oh, my opponent is going ground in a big way. Now we did see this third expansion. By this time you can obviously see my opponent's army is larger. We're both not, my opponent's got quite a lot of resources backing up, but they're going to be used by this macro hatchery. The additional lava that spawns, they're all going to be converted into units. Now if we have a little bit of a look at units, see what we've got. Doubled the drone count. My opponent's been a lot better at building drones, and the army is a lot larger as well in terms of Zerglings. Although, well, you can say broadly our armies are balanced, but my opponent's general level of harvesting is a lot faster. So we keep going. You can see our Baneling nest going up there. That would have been worth a scout. If I'd had a look at the front of the base, always keep having a look at the front of your opponent's base, so I would have seen this creep spreading a lot faster with all of those Zerglings. And really nothing else at this point in time. It's Zergling and Baneling only. My opponent has grabbed 3 bases and is in a very good production situation. To have a look in the top right here, you can see army size a lot bigger. I'm really not spending my resources, and if I'd spent these resources, I would be in a better position. So we keep on charging through. A few Banelings into that mix. You see my opponent's resources going down a bunch, my resources still way too high, and I've left it on the army tab so you can see that really the resources that I'm up should have been spent on more workers and also more army. That's the key point. This was a macro problem, macro and scouting. I wasn't building enough stuff. Now again, a key point here, I should have seen at some point, you can see the infestation pip, so infest is an option. Now my opponent's so sort of secure here, just throws up a spire. So again, looking for your opponent's production structures, I did not have any knowledge as to what unit mix was coming beyond Zerglings here. So that's why the Hydralisks, the Mutalisks, sorry, were a surprise to me. So it's still building out. You can see that now both of us are sitting on a lot of money, but my opponent's army size is almost double that of mine. 86 to 153, and that is what caused us our doom in the end. So I went forward to the entire game, but we pretty much know what happened after that. We had a few encounters, the Mutalisks came and got me, and then I pushed with too small an army into the front of a base that was very well defended. So there we go. That's going to be it for our little lunchtime stream today. Hope you enjoyed that Legacy of the Void. I will try and do some more of these in